What's up guys, MikeCoco back here, bringing you guys a new video on the new update for Legion of Heroes for the month of October. Now, I've been away for a long time, been sick for the last 3 weeks, as you guys know from the last video, and after that, I had midterms. They actually span across 3 weeks, 3 weeks. My midterms actually span across 3 weeks, so I'm packed, I'm busy, it's a hectic schedule, so I know it's not an excuse, but I just want to explain why I haven't been around. Um, and so that's probably why this video is going to be more like a recap, because a lot of you guys probably already know about this, but I do want to give my thoughts on uh, the details of the update. So the first thing that I want to mention are the coupon codes. There are 3 coupon codes roaming around for October. The first one is HELLOWEEN, so it's basically hello, or no, yeah, hello with a ween at the end. Um, that one gets you just an ordinary legendary ticket. The second one is HUANYINGLOH, which is, I think that's Chinese for anniversary low. I think. I don't remember. My Chinese is very bad. But anyway, that one gets you a mythic ticket from seasons 1 to 4. And the next one is, oh god, I'm gonna butcher this one for sure. YINGXIONG, and yeah, I butchered that one for sure because I don't know how to pronounce that. And that one I believe is also a mythic ticket. I'm gonna check really quick. Um, but the important part is that both of these tickets actually, or both of these coupon codes, do provide soul gems. So the one of them provides 50 soul gems. I don't remember which one, and the other one provides. Where does soul gems go? Okay, here. So one of them provides 50 soul gems, and the other one provides 200. So you get a total of 250. Now with 250 soul gems, this is pretty much the free players' only shot to get anything that is available for paying players. Well, of course, except for the ones that require cash and not soul gems. With 250, you're actually kind of limited. Some of the stuff, most of the stuff in the shop is actually at 289. Things like the costume package or the Dragon Heart, that's an event one. Husky in the Chrono is also 289. And what else is there? These soul gems are just money. You can get probably one of these, like 2 of these battle packages. But to be honest, a lot of these things aren't that great. As a free player, I would highly recommend saving it and not, or waiting for a good deal in the shop, or just saving it in general, because Korean Legion of Heroes does have soul gems as a daily reward. Now, I'm not implying that the Global Legion of Heroes will also get that as a daily reward, because there are some notable differences in the currencies between Korean Legion of Heroes and Global Legion of Heroes. So that, just take that with a grain of salt. But you do get soul gems as a I think the daily reward for tower. I think you complete like 10 towers and you get 10 soul gems. So that's the reward. So if you really don't have anything you want, why not just save it? Doesn't really make that big of a difference, because if there's nothing you want and there's nothing good, then it doesn't hurt, right? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. With that 250, if you save enough, or even just buy a little bit, how much are our soul gems anyway? You can probably get, oh, this is really sad. It's like 45, and you're 5 gems away from Husky, I think. Is there one for $5? Well, if there's ever a $5 one, you can just pick that up. You get enough soul gems to have 289, and you can pick up a Husky. According to my guildmates, Husky is not available on sale, so the base price or the minimum price is always going to be 289 soul gems. So with that aside, I want to start talking about the actual contents of the update. We have extended tower floors up to floor 50, up from I think 30. And I've been staying at floor 36. I haven't had a lot of time to play, but you get these new tower gear called Heavenly um, gear. Now, Heavenly gear is obviously one tier above Era 110, and I don't believe it is higher than, it may not be higher than rank 5 legendary. I can check that very quickly, as I do have a staff, if I can find it. Where is it? And so it's 218 for rank 5. So the tower gear is better than rank 5 legendary, but it's not going to be better than rank 6 legendary for now. The next tower gear may change. I haven't been keeping track of the ratio because tower gear I actually find it's harder to obtain than the legendary gear because it actually drops at such a low rate that you're better off actually trying to get legendary gear, which kind of doesn't make sense considering legendary is supposed to be, you know, legendary. But there is that. We have the extra floors for tower, and we also have new daily login rewards. They changed it by removing the legendary tickets to a mythic ticket at the 28th day. So you get a mythic ticket now. And this is from all seasons. So the only bad thing about this change is that you could potentially get a season 1 mythic hero, which is absolutely useless unless, of course, it's Khalid or Ione. And I'll discuss a little bit more about Ione a little bit later, as you guys already saw. Everything else, the 7th day is always going to be a legendary ticket. It is no longer a guaranteed S5 ticket, which could be bad, could be good, because S5, you know, it's decent, but some people, well, personally, I would prefer a shot at getting season 7 and 8 legendary heroes, so I wouldn't really mind. Some of the other stuff was also changed. I think you get Dragon Hearts now, which is not bad. But I think the biggest change would be the mythic ticket. So that is that change. And the next one is the rune reinforcement rates. Now, it doesn't feel like it's been changed, but this is just anecdotal experience, so it's not exactly confirmed. It just doesn't feel like it's changed. Maybe a little bit, but the rates for Rita, the Global Legion of Heroes team claims that they have increased the reinforcement rates from levels 1 to 15. So everything from 1 to 15 has been raised. Now, it's not like the double rate during the rune reinforcement event, but I have no idea if it's ever going to come back, because they claim that they have already increased the rate, so they may not even decide to bring it back because they're like, hey, we raised it, we don't need a double rate anymore. So take that as you will. So basically 1 to 15 is higher. I would do 1 to 10 and then 15 just if you have the rune essence to deal with it. And that's pretty much it. Now, going on to the heroes, we have 2 new heroes. One of them is Saint Ione. Now, I don't know the backstory behind this, because now we're getting like I guess it would be the parallel universe to all the heroes, because we had Sibyl and then Dark Prophet Sibyl, we had Sarah and then Dark Prophet Sarah. So I'm assuming Saint Ione is like the parallel universe to regular Ione. So her skill, her myth skill is quite unique actually. I don't know if any other hero has this skill. I've never seen it before. Saint, and it recovers all HP for 3 turns after battle begins. So I'm assuming it means that whatever damage they get hit for, they will automatically recover it each turn, which is actually interesting. Though I'm not sure exactly how it works. Her skill actually deals damage in a row, dispels buffs, increases attack and critical rate for 2 turns. So it raises the attack and crit in a sort of a cross. This is actually similar to Kamal, who attacks in a row and a column. This is not exactly a cross, but it's the entire row and the entire column. So in this case, it would be Sarah, Ione, William, and Lindy. So we use a skill increase the attack by 20% and critical hit rate by 100%. So this is basically your Prime on steroids, or Pram, whatever. It's on steroids, because Pram has 75% critical hit rate, and now there's 100%. Although Pram's hit rate at 75% is basically a guaranteed crit, this also dispels the buffs, so it acts like Jiri's skill, and it increases the attack by 20%, which is absolutely amazing. And she's gonna be a magic hero, which means she ignores defense, and unlike Pram, she's gonna have more stable damage. It might be lower overall, but it's gonna be more stable. And yeah, that's basically it. Just hits in a row, and it guarantees a crit and attack up, which is actually fantastic. You can basically set the skill to always use, because it deals a lot of damage. I'm unsure of the SDF, but one of my guildmates has already purchased her, so I'll get back with that information on the spreadsheet that I've posted on the channel. So there's that. The next hero is a regular legendary hero, which is Cocomo. And again, Season 8. Now, this time he is a 300 Fury cannon user and increases his attack up for 1 turn and deals fire damage for 3 turns. So it's a fire dot. His myth skill doesn't seem that useful, as you saw right there. It's multi-millionaire, which means he just increases the gold, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, at 300 Fury, it's not a good skill. He does increase attack by 50% at level 50, and I don't have him yet, so I'm not sure if it rates past 50. But regardless, if it doesn't raise past 50, he's basically a worse version of Cromwell. So I wouldn't use him actively, but because he does have a self-attack up buff, which is not exactly common, I would still keep him, but I wouldn't put him um, in an active formation or your main formation simply because there are better heroes out there. But it is possible that a costume comes out which makes him better, because just looking at his base stats and his base skill, it's not terrible. There are obviously better skills, but it's nothing that is worse than your average hero. So that's why I would suggest, if you do get him, just keep him for now. Um, he probably will have a costume. I'm unsure of what it is. I haven't searched it up, but you guys can search it on the Legion of Heroes wiki to get that information. And there's more stuff for Vindictus. I'm not gonna go into that because I haven't ever gotten into Vindictus, the heroes. And the next part is the event. This is the part I actually want to talk about most. So if you guys saw before, where is it? I have Ione with the party nymph costume. So this is actually season 1 Ione with the costume applied. And the event lasts for, let's see, when does it last for? Until November 15th. So every day you can get up to 10 of these, what is it called? Magical powder. It's like, just think of it like pink glitter or pink dust. You get 10 every day just by doing all of these things, and they're relatively simple. You could probably do all of them within like 15 minutes. And you get these 10 pink dust. And then you go to find NPC and go to Ione. You guys probably already know this because this event has started a few days ago. And you can trade her for certain things. Now, the important part is her costume, because her costume provides her with a skill that is very similar to Remy, and in some ways is actually superior to Remy's skill. This makes Ione very, very important for free-to players. I cannot stress this enough. Free-to players have been getting destroyed because of the lack of a consistent cleanser slash healer. Remy is obviously my personal favorite for mythic heroes. It's obviously the first one you want to get because she is so useful. And now that there's a quote-unquote free version of Remy, or free slash weaker version, everyone should be getting the costume, in my opinion, as the first thing to get. There's also the weapon. There's a second secret box. It provides her with a weapon that only Ione can use, and it's a level 130 weapon, so that's higher than every other weapon as of now. The active skill is fixed at level 5, and the active skill, I believe, just increases the attack by a certain percent, and I think it also heals the row. So it increases the attack by row, or it increases the row's attack. Got my words flipped. And also increases or heals the row by a certain amount of HP. Now, in terms of usefulness, I personally would recommend the costume over the weapon, because the weapon, while being level 130, deals more damage. The main purpose of having Ione is having her costume, which is important for free players, because it's so much more helpful in Mythic Raid and in what else is there? Mythic Raid and Explore. It will help you get a lot further in Explore. You will no longer get stunned, and often when you bring in Amos, Amos can't heal, but the costume actually can heal. And so that's why I would recommend the costume. Now, if you have any other excess, like pink dust, you could probably get this stuff. I would probably go for the mythic ticket, because you only get one, and go for the rune essence, likely, because you can get 150 rune essence. Dragonheart is debatable. I feel like Rune Essence is not farmable. Dragonheart is farmable, but it takes time, so I feel like Rune Essence is still a greater priority. And rank 6 chest, that again is kind of farmable. but I would ideally pick the things that you can't farm for. Like gold you can farm for, runes, while you may need it, it's very easily farmed. So from the 19th to 15th, I believe you have somewhere around 25 days, so around 250 pink dust, somewhere around there, give or take. Um, so you can absolutely get both the weapon and get the costume and get the ticket and get some other stuff. So definitely go ahead and do that. I will cover the costume a little bit more in detail, but what it does is it heals for 2 turns, and it removes all debuffs for. Or no, it doesn't heal for 2 turns. It heals in a 3x3 and then dispels for 2 turns. So this heal is not. So this number here, it doesn't mean it will heal every ally by this number. It means it'll distribute this amount of HP healed among your 3x3 area. So I think that's similar to how Remy does it, right? She heals HP, but she heals that amount distributed among the heroes that require HP to be healed. So there's that. And if you notice, the costume is actually supposed to be for the 2nd anniversary, so that's why a lot of the stats are like involved too. So everything is increased by 22%. Her skill costs 222 Fury, and it deals a base damage of 2,222, and that's probably also why it dispels the debuffs for 2 turns. Now her skill specifically works more like Tenui's skill. You can actually target the area. It's not centered around her, I believe. So it makes her much more useful during Mythic Raid because you don't have to keep shifting people around. You can just select where you want to heal. But you would ideally still want to have Jury around because this doesn't remove the buffs from the enemy team, and the heal is not that great because, as you guys, or if you guys know, Remy's heal, while it does heal, it doesn't heal a lot. Jury will take care of that. So there's that. I could be wrong about the heal actually, but I haven't tested it yet. Again, I've been busy. So there's that for her skill. And if you're wondering what skill icon the dispel debuffs for 2 turns is, it's exactly the same as Remy. So if you watch my Dark Prophet Sibio first impressions, you can understand exactly what happens with that debuff. But summary of that is basically it can be removed. This Ione skill can be removed by both Jiri and Dark Prophet Sibio, but both Ione and Remy can trigger their rings off of the attack that removes the dispel, or removes the spell buff. So you can just reactivate it the next turn just by setting the skill to always use. So there's that. And I probably won't talk about that much longer because the video feels kind of long now. The last thing is the main hero level up event. If you get your main hero to pass level 90, you get some nice stuff. I don't remember what. I'm just reading off of the thing. But it doesn't seem that great. Just get a bit of hearts and some rank 5 chests. Nothing you can't already farm for. And I think that is pretty much it for this update. Most of the stuff, aside from what I've talked about, is just shop things that you need to pay money for, and is not applicable to everybody. And at the last note, they said they fixed the chat, which is actually good because the old chat was very difficult to use. Because I don't know, it feels a little bit better and it's smaller, so you can actually start reading more of what was written. And I think it keeps the history. So even if like a lot of people talk, it will continue refreshing, and so you can scroll all the way back up to the first person who talked. So I think you can do that. And other than that, I feel like the chat is. I think we're all used to the old chat, but the new chat is not terrible now. I think the one thing that I don't like is that when you move to guild, this part should automatically switch to guild because it doesn't make sense. If you go to guild and then you talk and then you're actually talking to this part, so I don't know. Seems like an oversight by the development team. But that's basically it for this update. The conclusion is you definitely want to get that pink dust from the event. It's going to be very helpful for free players, and even if you're not a free player, if your Remy dies, you get a weaker version of Remy. So you can keep like trying to hit Explore 4-10 or whatever. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting the costume, and then the weapon. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll see you probably next week when midterms are done. Videos will probably be more consistent um, with the upload dates. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Peace.